Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. So, excuse me. I was hoping I was going to take a break today and not do a video. However, my oldest, my son, been on my mind this morning. Put it like this. My kids are always on my mind. Always. So, first, hope everyone doing all right today. This message is going to be dedicated more to him. However, I want to state a couple things before I get into it. First and foremost, do I believe that I need to come online to express my feelings about my child online or my kids online? No, because I'm a type of person, I provide love every single day, okay? So, I'm not doing this because, oh, let me get attention, let me put a focus on him, or let me get people to watch my stuff or whatever. Whatever I do, I don't do it for views, okay? If you look, you look. You don't, you don't. Like I tell y'all before, on my end, I only got 202 followers, okay? 202, not 2,000, not 200,000, not 2 million. 202 people, and a lot of them are bots, okay? And I already know that. And it's cool. I do this because I truly, genuinely love what I do. But it's not about that. The reason why I'm doing it this way is this. Unfortunately, due to my situation, there are things I have to do, okay? Right now, I'm not able to see my kids. Is that because I don't want to? No, it's because of their reality father is keeping me from them. He's falsified information, okay? Right now, they moved. So I can't even get to them, even if I wanted to, or they moved to a whole nother location, okay? Yeah, that's how crazy it is. They moved. But I've been blessed to be able to try to communicate when they know that he's not around. Technically, he told them to don't talk to me. All right? Yes, he told them to not talk to me. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm in a situation where it's like, because of who I am, and because what me and my kids that I raised in my reality, been through, excuse me, it has caused some issues, okay? Just the same as y'all probably watch my videos. Y'all might think this woman could be a little crazy, and some of y'all might be like, yo, she's amazing. It could be both ways. And but you gotta realize that's one thing, watching a video, than being in the video, if you understand, being in that situation, that life. And so I'm doing it this way because I want my son to understand that I've always loved him equally as all the kids. The ones either in reality or spiritually. Everyone equally, okay? And I know in a lot of my videos that y'all hear me talk about my daughter and my youngest. So this is the reason why I'm doing it this way, because I don't know when they're going to know, okay? This is about to be a surprise to them as well. Okay, because they've been battling a lot, so I don't know if they know or not. All right, because the way spirits and all of that work, the same way some people in the world don't know about me, the same way a lot of people know about me. Same thing for the kids, and even my community. Okay, yeah. So I want to state this: when it comes to kids, it is hard. Sometimes it's hard. When you have multiple kids, it's already enough for one, and I told you about that one video. But then when you have multiple kids, trying to provide equal opportunity across the board, making sure each one feels special. In this world, a lot of times you hear people say, oh, this is my favorite child and that. I don't do that, okay? Because all my kids bring something different to the table. Every single one of them brings something amazing to the table, okay? And, excuse me. In this situation, because my daughter talks more, so it's easier to bring up conversations that we have had because she talks more. The reason why y'all know about my youngest, because he's with me, and y'all probably hear me or see me cut the eyes and stuff like that. But from time to time I talk about him as well. But then it's my oldest. I don't talk too much about him like that. I sprinkle it in here and there. Because my oldest, he's been through it. He's the oldest. You understand? Just to let y'all know, my oldest two, they are considered as Irish twins. Okay, That's what y'all call them, Irish twins. I think I talked about this before. So that means that they're not a official a whole year apart. They're like, I think it was 11 months. They're 11 months apart. Okay. You know, go to the doctor on that note. Ooh wee. But they're 11 months apart. And in this situation, my oldest, I'm gonna start it off like this, and then I'm gonna get to the thing. Me being raised up, I went through a lot, okay? And the thing about it is, there was a lot of parenting things that I was taught that I knew that wasn't right, but I didn't have any other resources. So I had to take what I learned to the next phase. Hold on one second. Baby, is it on skip?
Yes.
Okay. And, excuse me. So, when it came to my youngest, first and foremost, I was married. I had him when I was in Fort Eustis. His dad was in the military at the time, so I was married and had my oldest. And it was the most amazing, scariest thing ever. It's like, Dad, how you married and scared to tell your mom that that you pregnant? I was scared as it. It was like, I was scared. My oldest was my first on a lot of things. He was the first child I ever fed a bottle to. He was the first child that I ever changed a diaper. You talking about something all new. It's like, oh my God. Like, I wasn't a type that was around babies when I was younger. I wasn't a type that held a child when I was younger. Like, I didn't even like Barbie dolls. You understand? I was like a tomboy. It was like any motherly instincts, it was like, where they gonna come from? So I was scared. I was scared because I'm like, this is new to me. You know, this is new, you know, because I'm gonna say this, I never thought I was gonna have kids. I wanted kids, but I just never thought I was actually gonna have them because the way people was around me. I didn't think that I was gonna ever, you know, have that opportunity. But when my son was born, Lord geez, he was a long, lengthy little thing. He was overhyped. Excuse me, skinny, and he was over average for his height when he was little. The way he came out like a little frog, it was crazy. The way his feet and everything was, complexion wise, looked like a little white boy. Yep, looked like a little white boy. But then when people saw him, they thought he was a little girl with all the blue on. They thought he was a girl, and But he has, if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would be at. And I'm trying not, I feel like I'm about to get emotional, but I'm trying to stay strong in this. Because I want him to understand, like, you know, being a mother and taking in the information I was taught was hard. Because I provided the same knowledge to him that I had. The understanding, excuse me. That was before Google. That was before all of that other stuff. And I didn't have friends or anything because I'm in a whole nother state. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family I could talk to and ask questions and stuff like that. I was literally doing this by myself. Even though I was married, excuse me, it wasn't the best situation. And it's even when, I'm going to try to stay on direct, but it was hard at a lot of times. The older my son got, the more I started noticing I'm looking at myself. Literally looking at myself. And my son, he was, as a baby, quiet. The same way, like, my son here, like, y'all just started noticing stuff about, like, hearing him, but quiet. Like, you wouldn't even know he's in the room. It was that quiet. He was a quiet baby. Didn't scream, didn't yell or nothing unless he needed something, and barely did. But, learning things about him, the older he got, I started noticing how he caught on to things very, very fast. As a toddler, as a baby, very, very fast. And it was so crazy because he was one of those types that if you don't know he ain't gonna let you know he knows. It was like that. Like, I think I talked about before, like, when he was like, 4 months, 5 months, something like that, and had a bottle. And he was holding it. And I'm sitting here like, why when people come around, he act like he don't know how to do this stuff. And then when they gone, he'll pick it up himself and do the stuff. That's how he was. He always had that personality. He's that type that if you do not, like, even if you ask, he's going to look at you like, I don't know. but he already knows. Super intelligent. Words. Oh my God. He, like, his vocabulary. And it's so crazy because even his vocabulary, he's so tight, he'll pay attention to what people say. And you know how a lot of kids these days, or even back in time, you can be saying certain words, and then they'll take those words and then try to throw it back at you. And then you ask them, what is that? And they be like, oh no. You literally, I could ask him, and this is as a toddler, all of this, I could be like, what does that mean? Now put in a sentence. He'll tell you in heart, like he'll tell you, like if I ask him directly, he'll tell me. Wordplay, like you think Dr. Seuss is something, like wordplay. He knows how to put stuff together, and it's crazy the stuff the way he say it, and you're looking at him like, that actually makes sense. You really think about it, it's like that. But he always was quiet. He was just a quiet. But then when he talked, when he laughed, he lights up a room. And amazing spirit. And the thing about it is sometimes when he was going through different things, I didn't know how to communicate with him because I only could provide him what I went through. And I know a lot of times he might feel like he was missing in action. He might feel like I didn't care and stuff like that, but I always cared. I always was watching. I always was paying attention. You know, even when it came to him and his sister, it's crazy. He'll act like he don't want to be bothered, but he'll be peeping around the corner to make sure she was good. It was that type thing. He has an amazing heart. He might be quiet, but he has literally just like me, has an amazing heart. He really do care about people's emotions, people's feelings and stuff like that. And a lot of times I feel like he thought that I didn't care, because it's like when my daughter, she'll get loud, and I'm always telling him, like, you know, when the person get the loudest, sometimes that's where the energy go at, because they the loudest in the room. And a lot of times, sometimes he might thought that I wasn't paying attention, because when a person loud, you think that's where your focus at. And I wanted him to know that it's not that. Like, I've always done things. I always cared. I always loved you. You know, raising a boy is not the easiest, but I did everything I could, because, you know, when you have a male figure, their father, reality-wise, in their life, you think, well, you know, he'll teach them how to play basketball. He'll teach them how to play football. He'll teach them how to do these things. But he didn't. I had to teach my son how to play basketball and football. Like, I would literally take my son and be like, come on, let's go. We're going to go outside, throw the football. All right, we're going to go play, you know, we're going to play basketball. I even got that, like, the little basketball hoop in the house and stuff like that. Like, I would do little things, like, you know, trying to raise a boy and teach him how to be a man. Sometimes it's a hard thing, because I had those conversations a lot, like, if you don't do this, see, I lecture, and I don't try to lecture. It's like, when a situation goes on, I try to explain it. So, like, if he's not cleaning up his room, and I'll be like, look, babe, you got to clean up your room, because at the same time, if you don't keep your room clean, then you're going to have bugs, you're going to have this and that. When you get older, you don't want to have those issues, you don't want to have those problems. And that's how I talk. It's like, I don't just say, get this done, do it now. I explain, this is why you need to do this, so you can do that. Ain't no different than cooking. Hey, babe, if you cooking, you need to pay attention, do this, this, and that. So that's how I done it. And a lot of times, it might sound like if I'm trying to force them to be grown before time. And a lot of kids, right, the one parents that's like me, a lot of kids think that. And it wasn't the fact that I was trying to force you to be grown before time. It's like, I don't want to say it this way, Mama say it. Life happens. And we don't know what's going to happen. And the reason why I did the stuff I did, because I didn't know. I didn't know how much time I had left. I didn't know how much time I had left. So I was preparing you. It wasn't that I was trying to force you to be grown. It wasn't that I was trying to put the weight on your shoulders. But I knew my life was on the line. And every day I was fighting. So all the times I cried and I was going through stuff because I was fighting every day. It's crazy. I didn't know that it was spells and stuff, but I knew that every day I felt like I was dying every day. So I wanted to make sure I gave you as much information as possible. So if that was my last, I knew you at least had a starter plan. And I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I feel like I know you almost grown now. You're 16. And you've been through a lot. And it wasn't the fact that I was trying to force you to be a man. It was not. That's why I played with you. That's why I wanted to do the video games. That's why I spent as much time as I could with you. A lot of times I come in the room and lay on the bed and would just watch whatever you was watching. A lot of times I said, come on, let's play the video games together just so I can spend time with you. I don't care if we went in the car riding around or go to the park. I did everything to try to spend as much time with you as possible. All of y'all. I tried. I know I pried a lot into your life, try to understand things about you, get to know more about you, understand you, get to know who your friends are, get to know what's going on. And it wasn't the fact that I was trying to be tough on you to make you feel less than, but I did the best I could. I had to throw away the knowledge that I was taught, and every day I had to learn something new. You being my oldest, a lot of times you got the first hand on a lot of things, trial runs. And I don't want you to think that I put your sister above you or your brother above you. Because I know I had those conversations a lot, like, hey, you the oldest. You the oldest, you got to get together. Like, you got to take care of yourself. You got to be able to stand up. Because it was a thing that my son's brain would be in the clouds sometimes, where he wasn't paying attention because his mom was gone. But I know what it is. He was like me. He was in the spirit world more than he realized, more than I realized at the time. Close the door behind you. He was going through a lot of spiritual stuff. See, my son could see spirits. And it's a lot of stuff he was able to channel in, but he didn't understand it. I didn't know nothing about it at the time. By the time I started understanding this stuff, they're basically being taken away from me. So it was hard for me to explain something to him because now it's too late. In their eyes, it's too late. It's something new. Hold on one second. No. Okay. It was something new. Like, I took my kids to church, but we knew the basics, just like all the churches. But when it comes to that spiritual stuff, none of them understood nothing about it. I never talked about it because I didn't even know nothing about it. That part of my life, that information, I didn't know until it was late. So by the time I started understanding that my son was going through a lot of spiritual stuff, it was too late for me to be able to explain it, because now it looks crazy because he don't have enough of knowledge. So when everybody else came in and started telling them like I'm crazy, that's why it was hard for me to talk to him. But the thing about it is, it's like, I just want you to understand that I always paid attention to you, always watched. I did everything I could. But I don't want you to think that I was trying to force you to be something ahead of time. I just wanted you to be prepared, because I knew what was on. I knew something was going on with my life, and I had to work it out the best way I could without telling you what it was. So when it came to you being being a brother to your sister, I wanted to make sure y'all had a close relationship, because there were struggle moments. And that was because of these spells. That's because of these things. And I want to make sure y'all stay close, because guess what? You knew I didn't have a close relationship with my brother. You know we never talked. You know we wasn't like that. And that was one of my biggest concerns. I didn't want y'all to be like that, because y'all family. And I wanted y'all to stay close. Even when times get hard, I wanted you to know if you ain't got nobody else to go to, that's who you go to, is your sisters or your brother. I didn't want y'all to be apart. I didn't want y'all to be separate. And I did everything I could to try to make sure y'all stay that way. But sometimes it was a little bit overload, because it's like I could feel things and I was trying to stop it before it started. So I want you to know that I love you more than life. I love you more than anything. That's why I'm doing what I do now. That goes for you and the rest of y'all. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm sorry if you didn't understand that. And I know you probably feel like, why is she worrying about them? Because reason why I'm making sure that I talk to these people, because I want y'all to know that I will do whatever I have to protect y'all. So I'm getting everybody in line to make sure that they don't screw with y'all. That's what I'm doing. When I told y'all that I'm going to give you the world, I meant that. Anything I promise y'all, I promise. The way I tell y'all all the time. If I say I don't know or later, there's something. But when I put promise on it, best believe it's a guarantee. I promise you the world, and that's what I'm doing. Okay? Because I want to make sure that no one ever messes with you or your siblings ever again. That's why I'm doing it. So yeah, y'all might be away from me for a little while, but I'm making sure that these mother suckers out here in the world know not to mess with you or your generations. Because I'm making sure that y'all gonna be protected. That if when you decide to have kids, that they gonna be protected, their kids gonna be protected. I'm putting a stamp of approval on our name, so they know not to mess with us. So I know we've been through a lot, and I promise you that we about to have a lot of fun. Okay, we're gonna make up. We're gonna make some new memories. We're gonna let go of the old. We're gonna make some new ones. And I want y'all all to know I love y'all equally. I don't have a favorite. Or if I have a favorite, all of y'all my favorite. And I want y'all to know that. So I apologize that this had to happen to us. I apologize that our families ain't who they are. And I apologize that these people in the world are the way they are. But I know one thing, they better not step up against y'all. Do you understand me? And if anybody come up against y'all and try to do anything, you let me know. So I want y'all to know that I love you, JAYLIN. I want you to understand that I apologize for the things we've been through. No different than ZHYANA, COBY, the rest of y'all. I apologize. But I had to do this. I had to go through this. Because I didn't want to put this weight on your shoulders. So I'm making sure that y'all had a good life, the easy life, the fulfilled life, the prosperous life, the eternal life. I didn't want to do this video like this. I wanted to be able to do it directly to you. But right now, we're going through some stuff. But it's almost over with. But I'm telling the people in the world, y'all come up against them, you're going to have to deal with me. On that note, I love y'all. I love you, JAYLIN. I love you, ZHYANA. I love you, COBY. I love y'all. I love all of y'all. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for being strong, not just child, not just a boy, but growing to an amazing man. Thank you for everything that you have given me. Because if it wasn't for you being my firstborn, there would be no me. On that note, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.